Them shits cost like 3 months rent, and his ex-girl knows what he once spent. That's why she moved out, she ain't coming back. Winter's here now, can't get summer back. Cold war caused by wasteful spending. Trust me, he's gonna hate the ending. Fresh pair of fours turn a peasant to God, and being cold broke leave a resident scarred. Brand new Michaels make your life glow, cause time in the hood is unpleasant and hard. Dang, we been hearing no, no. Most of our lives it was
no.
You can't have that, you can't go. We can't afford that.
No bars off. Huh. Yeah. MCs take no bars off.
It's a bop. Yo, this right here is monumental, you know, real personal for me. You know what I mean? The man that ushered me into the game. Man, I don't even know if I have the words to really salute. Like, he affected all of us, you know what I'm saying? I was a part of the seed that you know got planted, that sprouted into so many of us, of our crew and who we are.
It's like a
you
tree.
know, this is crazy. An innovator, legend, you know, so many things. Pioneer, just somebody that was one of the original, you know, spitters and stayed true to himself and is showing what longevity and authenticity means to the game, man. I just I'll be here all day. I want to just bring him in. My bro, Masta Ace, man.
Bring him to the stage.
Yo.
What's going on, gentlemen?
What's going on, sir? How are you, brother?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well.
Yeah, man. Good to see you, man. Introduce you to my brother, Coney Island, Boardwalk Brown. Smash the Ace.
Hello, bro. It's a pleasure. It's all mine.
I've watched many of you guys' clips, so I'm familiar.
That's great. That's
Appreciate
great,
it.
man. Thank you. You know, man, I don't even know where to begin. We can begin at the beginning.
Hold on. I just want to say, because you mentioned, you know, me being influential in, you know, ushering you into this game.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to apologize for that.
Wow.
I want to apologize for that, because I didn't realize when I'm bringing you into the booth, into the studio to do these little parts for these records that I'm doing in what, 91, 92?
Yeah, 91 was the first one.
And you know, I just wanted a kid's voice on some joints, but I didn't know that it was going to send you on this path to really try to chase this rap dream. And I didn't know what the monster. I didn't know the monster that the rap dream was at that point. I was still really new myself, right? So I didn't really realize that I was, you know, basically infecting you with this industry the way that I did. And I can only imagine the amount of ups, downs, mentally and otherwise, pain and strife and all of that you know you went through on that journey. Only you really know the details of it. But for the part that I played, I apologize. And the reason I apologize is because I have seen it now happen. After you, it has happened around 6 times where I've had friends of mine, sons, daughters come into sessions to help me with something, and then 5 years later, oh, they're trying to be a rapper, and I'm like, oh man, what am I doing? I gotta stop doing this. So I kind of vowed, like, yo, I'm not bringing no more kids to the studio. I'm dead ass. I'm not bringing no more kids, man. No, I can't do it to them.
You gotta understand your impact, brother.
Yo, it's crazy, and so that's one of the reasons why when I started coaching football in Brooklyn, Canarsie High School, I would not talk about music around none of the kids on the team.
Right.
None of them knew about my career, or some of them heard through the grapevine, but
I was the same way.
We didn't discuss music at all. Like it wasn't a topic. It wasn't a topic.
Yeah, I would hide it
for that reason. Yeah, I just because this game is a monster, man. And
it is.
You know, I wish I could have spared you that.
Nah. It was no, you know what I'm saying? My brother, shout out to my brother, you know, Lord Digger, like it was nothing that you could have really done. Like it was there, you know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to do it. I know you don't remember picking me up from school in the 8th grade, but you came to Philippa Schuyler, picked me up early because I think the session was at like 3:30 or something like that. So you had to give me. It was one of the most exciting days of my life. I'm not gonna erase that. Like that was that was crazy. I'm telling my people like, yo, Masta Ace about to come pick me up, and then the Jeep showed up. It was wild. Like teacher let me out early. You know what I'm saying? Like it was crazy.
And then you just played Jordan Theory, and here I go again. In the video, one of my friends' son is in the video.
It's fun, man. It's fun. You got to think about, and this. I was talking to Steady about this, and I was like, yo, your influence was so major, but mainly because of who you are, right? Like if my unofficial mentor was some street cat that was doing time or was just shooting and clapping people up, intrinsically that would have been part of my makeup. I would have thought that was what I had to be. Right. But because you were yourself and I saw what you were going through, it like latched on to me. Like, no, I can be me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was huge. Whether that became my Achilles heel or not, I'm good with it. Like, I'm really good with it. Trust me.
Okay. Well, I just know. I know what this industry is and can be. Yeah. And I've seen so many of my friends' sons that have met me, been around me, been in the studio, that are now chasing this thing.
Yeah.
And spinning their wheels and trying to make things happen. And they don't understand just how difficult this is. And they all have that dream. You know, some of them like didn't even want to go to college because they're like, no, I'm chasing this. I'm chasing this. And
we went to college though. We went.
Thank God. Thank God.
We went. I mean, honestly, if you would not have taken my verse off of Crazy Drunken Style, which you probably don't remember.
I don't remember your verse. You have it?
No, but I used some of those lines because they were pretty good.
Okay. At least you ended up being dope though. That's the good news. That's the good news. Decent. Like, you know, some of the other younger guys, like they didn't even pick up the skill set. They just want to rap. They just want to rap.
Yeah. No, I studied. You know what I'm saying? Studied, got the deal and all. That's probably why when Lenny saw you, Matt had to be like 04, 05, right before he signed me. Lenny S bumped into you and he told you he was about to sign me. And then he came to me, he was like, yo, I saw Ace, man. I told him I was about to sign you. He acted like he ain't care. I was like, oh man. He was probably down like shit.
Yeah, I knew what you was in for.
Yeah.
But you got to think about it. It's a twofold approach to that, or a twofold perspective to that. Like you talk about how you see some of your friends' sons and daughters, you know, coming to this game and chasing the same, you know, that same dream. But on the flip side of that, you've managed to stick around long enough to see that, and that speaks to your longevity and, you know, your ability to, you know what I mean, stay tuned into what's going on. And like, even though you can't really take, you know, you can't really do nothing about the direct effect that you have just being who you are. And that's what your aura projects. But in terms of, you know, your ability to stick and stand through all of these, you know, changes in times and all of that again, that speaks a lot to your longevity. So I do want to salute you for that.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You set off one of the greatest quote unquote posse cuts. We can still call them that. Posse cuts.
Yeah, can we still call them that?
Yeah. You know, ever top 3, top 5, whatever you want to call it. To still being relevant, got a stage play to making music today. What inspired the Richmond Hill project?
So Marco and I always knew we were going to do a follow-up to Brooklyn Story, which came out in 2018. That was always the plan. But we thought that album would be coming out in 2020. And then the world changed dramatically in 2020. And we had to shelve the whole thing for 2-3 years. Because I didn't really write for the next 2 years, 2020, 2021, I didn't write at all. because of everything that was going on in the world,
Yeah.
pandemic, the lockdown, the presidential, like all that stuff was just heavy on my mind. And I knew if I wrote the album during that, the whole album would have been that.
Heavy.
It'd have been about, it would have just been too heavy. And so I just told him, like, yo, let's take a pause. I got the beats. Let me just step away from writing until things calm down, until the world takes a different shape, and then I'll go back to it. And so I started back in 2022. I started writing again in 2022. And I felt better about the world and life, and pandemic was kind of dying down, and then I was able to really get back at it.
Joint is fire, man. You and Marco really put together some heat, man.
Thank you, man. People like it. I'm really loving the fact that people, not just the fans, because the fans are gonna be fans, but I've been getting a lot of messages from my contemporaries, cats that rap, cats that produce, cats that DJ, making special reach outs to say, yo, I've just heard the album, it's crazy. They mentioning songs and all that, which that's not normal. That don't happen all the time.
Right.
Normally you don't hear from your peers. You hear from your fans, of course, but you don't hear from the peers. But I've been getting a lot of reach outs from peers.
For all that don't know, I was Kid Dynamite on the Slaughtahouse album. Go look it up. It was a privilege. Go look it up. It was a privilege to be on Ain't You the Master and Crazy Drunken Style. I kind of curated that chorus. I don't think people know that. I came up with a couple of things in there. You know what I'm saying? They kept my ad-libs at the end like Inspector Deck on on how my mind made up. This.
How old were you?
I was 14. Listen, my mom would be like, yo, listen, as long as you go to school the next day, you can go to the studio. I'm at the Jeep ass hugging video. She's good. She in Florida. She got out of the city. You know what I mean? So she good.
Go for her.
I think we're gonna get into the joint, man, because I know we'll be here just shooting the breeze for mad long. So
we'll try to do something nobody ever did before. I mean, even if they did, still, I'm gonna try to do it. Till I'm satisfied, I'm keeping my status high. Brid, listen kid, I don't care if you mad inside. Outside, upside down, Dr. Seuss was a bigot. Up to the days on the block and we used to get pivot. All time I was young and impressionable. Shit, back then I learned a lesson or 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do you appreciate? These rappers? Man, these fishes are easy bait. Wait, now they on the hook like Cartier. Cartier shirts I used to wear, the Albee Square. Peg in the round hole, I'm making it fit. For a king on my throne, I'm taking the shit. Dropping on your head like a pigeon. I hope you're listening. Smack a baby at his christening. The name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Airlines, budget flights, I ain't trying to hear it. Is bam in your face like Chuck and Flav. Or misbehaving, end up in the fucking grave. Diggers, shout to Prince Paul and shout to RZA. If you live in the Amazon, son, I'll deliver. Read the special G-Dep, hold your head strong. They only play a song if you old or dead. Ass, my dedication is steadfaster than a speeding bullet when the lead blast off your meds. That is what y'all must be, for real. MC Hammer couldn't touch me. Ray, Fa, Sola T, get the dough on my mind as soon as my feet hit the flow. Rider, make sure your woman is 1, 2. Microphone check, I'm doing it, son. Shine, I heard it's hot as hell in Bailey's. Jeans and Gazelle frames, I would wear these. Dudes are different than the average white band. Pick up the pieces and hold them in your right hand. Stand and try to balance like a yoga move. Bitch, get out of the way so I can show and prove me wrong, but you can't because we on the top of the food chain and far beyond. Burgers and fries, burners and knives. We living in a world full of turbulent lives. Stream, hey, swimming up is a difficult task. Cam, tape machine, that's what we did in the past. The Dutchie on the left, smoke is extra thick. It's thieves, and yo, these bars is extra sick. I got connections.
Yo.
Let's talk about it.
Yo. First of all, where did the idea come from? Where did your mind travel to decide you were gonna do this?
So I was writing that verse, right? And I did it in one spot, right? And then I was like, let me see if I could do it in the next line. And then it became a challenge, and then it became fun. Like, oh, I'm gonna just do the whole rhyme like this. Most people probably aren't gonna appreciate it, but for me, it's fun. So I'm just gonna have a good time as an MC, challenge myself to see if I can, try to make. The goal was to try to make the last line in every line be the first line in the next line, and
connection.
I didn't do it every single spot, but I did my best to try to do it in as many places as I could. And when I laid the verse down for Marco, he was like looking at me like, wait, what's happening? And I was like, and then I explained it to him, and he's like, play it again.
Yeah.
And so then he's like, oh shit, like, oh wow, okay. So he got it, but it took a minute. I was like, so most likely most people is gonna go right over their heads, but I knew there would be heads like y'all that really follow the craft and pay attention on a deeper level, that will get it, understand it, think that it's cool, maybe even want to, do their own version of it. I wanted to try to. Well, my goal is to try to make it like a challenge. Like maybe on TikTok or something where we put the instrumental out and let MCs do 16 bars of that style. Because then, trust me, I did what I did, but I know there's dudes out there that'll take it to a whole nother level and maybe do every single line.
Yeah, it's a lot of nerdy rappers out there that would, Joyner Lucas would love to do something like this, and
absolutely.
Nicky Fax could teach a class on it.
But
the way you did it, like you said, it was playful. I was driving, listening to it, and I called Brown. I was like, yo, you need to listen to this again. Because it was certain lines that was like hitting me. I was like, hold up. Because I didn't catch it. Oh, you heard it, but it's like I visually saw, certain lines like the I'll never read special G Dep holds your head, and then the task cam really stood out.
That's the one that caught me. The task cam was the one that caught me. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, task cam was the one that caught me. That kind of was a reference to like you had to be there to understand.
You had to be there.
So,
you had to be there.
Yeah. The task cam reference was the one that caught me. I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, we're doing this.
That's how I felt. Okay. Like, are we doing it? Okay, yeah, we're doing it. All right.
Okay, yeah, let's do this. Till I'm satisfied. I'm keeping my status high. Bread. Listen, kid, I don't care if you're mad inside, outside, upside down. Dr. Seuss was a bigot. Up to the days on the block when we used to pivot.
Wait, how did Dr. Seuss get So hold on. So first of all, we're going from I'm keeping my status high, bread. So we got hybrid. Yeah.
Listen, kid, I don't care if you're mad inside, but you connect inside to outside, upside down, which is inside, outside. Exactly. Yeah. Dr. Seuss was a bigot. All of this flows together.
Yeah.
Bigot up.
Bigot
to
up.
The days on the block. So all of this is not only are they visual, but they also lyric, like specifically they all link. Like you really, it seemed like in these first four is like when you seen it could happen, and then you was like, okay, let me just go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and try to make it all the way through.
Yeah, that's wild. Like like the whole Dr. Seuss catching a stray right there, like on the inside, upside, like, and you again, you had to be there. You know what I'm saying? And then you go to the pivot all time.
Pivot all time.
And then you could tell, I just kept it going. Bullshit. Back then I learned a lesson or two, so made sure to impressionable around with the lesson or two. And then hit the 2 with the 4, 6, 8.
Keep going 4, 6, 8.
Who do you appreciate? And then
but then give the listener something to think about. These rappers? Like this who you appreciate? Yeah.
And it just hits them like, yo, these fishes are easy bait. Wait. Now they on the hook. So you got the hook with the fish and the bait. And again, if you're not in the know, you may not remember Half Pierre on all them bad boy hooks.
All of them.
I dare you.
I was about to sing that.
To come against me. Ooh, that's nasty.
And then to stay in that, you had to be there phase. Pierre Cardin. You had to be, Pierre Cardin shirts I used to wear the I'll be square. Again, you had to be.
This
you know
is yo. This
so,
verse got real Brooklyn.
Listen, real quick too, like it's just 2 lines.
Yeah,
in 2 lines, it got real Brooklyn real quick.
I just envisioned. My high school was downtown, so that Albee Square. Whew, for those that don't know,
wild place.
Man, it's a whole nother world.
Whole nother world.
And then I'm waiting for the word mall, and he just leaves the square and goes square peg, square and round hole. I'm making it fit.
Yeah. And if you think about it, that's the square peg and the round hole right there, because you were waiting for mall.
Right.
So instead of going square mall, you go square peg and a round hole. So that's the square peg in itself.
And then the line itself is almost like I'm making the impossible possible. Like I'm making it fit. You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
And then it goes fit for a king
on
a throne. On my throne.
I'm taking a shit.
Yo.
Man. Yeah.
This is fun
and then,
stuff.
Of course, again, staying in Brooklyn and keeping it as, keeping it thorough, shit dropping on your head like a pigeon. I hope you're listening. Smacking babies at their christening. Christening. The name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Airlines. Budget flights. I ain't trying to hear it, man. So we got big. We got so we got big in the verse. We got the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, airlines. But listen,
budget flights.
All of these things flow together.
I ain't trying to hear it. Here it is.
Like, it is. Bam.
It's
in your face.
It's so much that the average listener is not gonna really grab onto.
It's so easy to breeze by it.
Yeah,
it's so easy to breeze by it if you're not paying attention.
When I
played it for like 2, what I would say laymen, my wife and another person who doesn't rap, and I played it for them twice, and they were like, "Okay, what? Like, I don't get it." I was like, "Forget it. Never mind."
Shout out to Lachey, man. Yeah, she always showed me love too, man. Nah, that's crazy though. Here it is. Like, just I heard it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you heard Chuck's voice.
You hear that?
Like, you hear Chuck's voice. Bam!
We dropped it in there. It's in there.
Yeah. Or misbehave and end up in the fucking grave. Diggers.
Shout to Prince Paul. Shout RZA.
The average person don't even remember.
Don't. I'm sure. Again, and like when you think about it, this is almost like a history class. Like, if you wasn't there, you had to be there. And just again, speaking to your longevity and like all of what you've seen come and go, and all of the people that you've come across and encountered and had some sort of dealings with. This is amazing.
Yeah. And then you go to, if you live in the Amazon, son, I'll deliver. Like, I mean,
listen.
Speaking of your delivery, you're delivering it real matter-of-factly. Now, you're not known for coming out your shirt and rah-rahing, but there's a certain air with this delivery that's like, I know I'm killing it. I don't have to show you that I'm killing it. But it's like some of these lines, I'm not gonna say you super reserved, but you're not even giving them no wow energy. You just like, yo, you either get it or you don't, and you on to the next.
You either get it. Mm-hmm.
Like, what's your thought process when you in the booth?
Yeah, honestly, I was entertaining myself.
Right.
That's what I was doing. I was just having fun, doing something that if nobody else gets it, I still think this is cool and fun. So it's for a select few people that have that discerning ear that's going to catch all of these lines that you guys are discussing. The average fan will not get this at all. They'll just take it for face value, and they won't even recognize the connection to each line, which is fine. I feel like the song can still be entertaining without you catching all of that.
Yes, I agree.
Absolutely.
But catching all of this is
it's even better.
Yeah,
it's even better.
So I'm a big fan of G-Dep. So for you to go from Amazon, Amazon as a place, and of course Amazon delivery, and never go to the read, special delivery, G-Dep, hold your head.
G-Dep.
Did he get out? Did he get pardoned or something like that? I heard he was getting out.
He got pardoned. He didn't get out yet, but he got pardoned. Yeah, I heard.
Okay.
Man, that's dope. I love G-Dep.
Me too.
And then you go head.
Tell him, hold your head.
Headstrong. Headstrong.
They only play your song. But listen, the jewel is they only play your song when you're old or dead.
Man.
That's the jewel.
Dead ass.
Bro.
Yeah, dead ass. Exactly. Dead ass, but dead ass. Like that's a statement as well.
Lines like headstrong, steadfast, like this just shows your brilliance, right? Because to find these words to end the bar and to find a connecting line to set off the next bar is just it's really slick, man. Steadfaster than a speeding bullet with lead blast, and then go blast off.
Blast off.
Off your meds.
That's what y'all must be.
For real.
MC Hammer couldn't touch me. Ray, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, get the dough. Like,
I don't even think that song.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I don't even think many people outside of that era would know that that's like the octave range and like that's something that music. That's the sound of music. Yeah. And like people don't even realize that like he'll probably like most people like of the younger generation will probably think that you like what was that do re mi, like what is that?
Yeah, my wife was watching that last night, ironically.
Wow.
Yo, that's funny.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
Showing my kids the sound of music. Yeah.
That is hilarious.
No on my mind as soon as my feet hit the flow. And then you change the flow of the flow, rider. Make sure your woman is one. Like he dropping jewels in too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's sprinkling the medicine in the candy.
Yeah.
You gotta sprinkle the medicine in the candy sometimes.
Yeah, to make sure your woman is a rider, man. That's that's real talk right there. That you drop
as it gets.
And then smart to put the woman is 1, 2, microphone check. I'm doing it, son. Shine.
I heard it's hot. Look, and keep the sun shine. I heard it's hot as hell and believe. You know what I mean? Like sunshine. I heard it's hot as hell. So you got the sun hot as hell. Man, listen.
Yeah.
Belize jeans and Cazal frames. I will wear these. Dude,
and I remember that.
Yeah,
I think I saw pictures of y'all at Sheep's Head with the gazelles on.
Listen,
you
had a pair of those. You was big time. You had a pair of them.
These dudes are different than the average white band.
Most people would take that as just, okay, is he talking about the average white band? No, this is an actual band.
And the name of the album was Pick Up the Pieces.
Pick up the pieces, exactly.
Pick up the pieces.
Listen, man. Pick up the pieces and hold them in your right hand, stand, and balance like a yoga move, bitch. Get out the way so I can show it. Listen, so I can show and prove, but prove me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't because we on the top of the food chain and far beyond. But then you switch it again. Burgers and fries, burners and knives. We living in a world of turbulent lives, streams. Listen,
don't skip the Beyond Burgers.
Yeah, and that's why I said you switched it again to Beyond Burgers and Fries. Yeah, that was the transition piece to go from the food chain. But listen, don't skip the food chain.
Right.
Let's not skip that. The food chain and far beyond burgers. So there's a connecting piece there as well. Listen,
I mean.
I love this. Again, these are gems and jewels that I know a lot of people, like you said, will go over their heads because it's not. Some people listen to music, some people hear it.
Yeah,
there's a difference. Some people just listen to it and listen for sound and listen for, words that they can sing in the club or they can repeat to, or something that they can write as a caption. But some people hear it, and like you said, you got to have that discerning ear to be able to pick up. Because being able to stick to this for a whole verse, not only is it not easy, but for it to make sense, that's a whole other project. That's what I'm saying. And he's saying stuff. You're dropping jewels, so that's a whole other project in itself.
Referencing the past, referencing his life, like it's so many things in here. And I love this line: "Living in a world full of turbulent lives." And when you that alone, right, that one bar means something. And it gives you a visual. And then when you add the stream to it, it took it to, like somewhere else.
It almost multiplied it.
It multiplied it, right?
It almost multiplies it.
Turbulent Live, but then you think about Turbulent live streams.
Live
like,
streams.
God, man, like this is this era that we're living in. So many things get caught on live, and so many things are happening right in front of you, whether it's violence, it's sex, it's wild stuff that we seeing. And we the OGs of the generation, and us having children know that the youngsters are coming up in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just brought so much to my mind. And then when you say swimming up is a difficult task, it's like you don't have time to sit with one line, right?
Nah,
or go somewhere else.
Yeah, and it's like it's almost like you got to catch up. Like as you catch it one, you miss it another, but then when you catch that, it's like you have to go back. Like the rewind factor is like because you got to catch every line, you still catching up from 2 lines ago, and you missing stuff. So but yeah.
Those two things kind of connected, because you talk about the Turbulent live streams, and then
live stream.
Swimming upstream is a difficult task. Now you think about
a whole nother task.
Yeah, you thinking about life and how difficult it is, and then you think about tasking. Now he goes task tape machine. Now I'm like,
wait a minute, this what we doing?
That's what we doing.
Task tape machine. Is this what we doing here? We going. This what we doing? Listen,
and you really had to be doing music at a certain time.
You really had to be. You had to be in the trenches at that point.
Tape machine was we did in the past.
Listen, pass the Dutchie on the left. Listen, smoke extra thick as thieves, thick as thieves, and these bars is extra sick. Listen, man.
Yeah, I don't
listen. Know, and the funny thing is, I would. In this streaming era, I would wish this was still the era where people went and grabbed physical tapes and CDs and got to read the words.
Yeah.
Because I think reading the words would do. I think reading the words would do them. It would help.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people miss what's going on, and they're missing a lot of the jewels and the actual connections in this verse. That's like, again, while you saying you were playing around, just trying to challenge yourself. Not only challenge accepted, you know what I mean? Challenge defeated at this point, because this is well put together. I got to tell you that.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I enjoyed it. It was fun to do. I hope it takes on a life of its own. To be honest, I hope the other MCs, whether known or unknown, are willing to step up to the plate and try their hand at it. Why not? Like, we should all be just having fun with it. Papoose is one of the people I'm gonna see if he wants to do it.
He'll do it.
I'm sure he'll love to do it.
You mentioned him and you mentioned Mickey Fax, and those are two of the people that were on my list of people to ask.
Yeah, I think Mickey could make it a challenge with his school. I think Papa do it justice. I think, like I said, he'll go harder with it. You know what I'm saying, with the delivery.
Yep.
I think Joyner Lucas, he's probably done something like this with his whole, he does the backwards and all types of stuff.
Yeah.
I got connections. These dudes all over the place like how bats fly. As a bird, it's so absurd, and that's why I walk with my head up. Town baby, for the crown you could get set up. Up and away, like the fifth dimension. Me, when you're talking best, it'll get some attention. Bands, how my mind stretches and it expands. But can't understand laying on beds and get tans. And near, melanated like African blood. All on the concrete, usually after the club. Hold the bacon, some of them are pork eaters. Don't be mistaken, watch out for the false leaders of the new school. Buster Danko and Charlie, Brown Wallabies, up in the Lincoln with Marley. Harvey Oswald, don't meet a similar fate. It's in God's hands, I'ma keep giving them great.
Yeah.
I wasn't finished. I wanted to, the first verse was so long, but I was like, Marco, I got more. Like, he said, all right, go ahead, do one more. Like, I could have it could have been like a 10-minute song, because lines just kept coming, man. They kept coming.
Yeah.
But I had to end it somewhere, so I forced the ending.
That's fire. You know what? It would be ill if you could spit this on like a radio show.
I was up at Sway today, and they asked me to rhyme, and I was just like, not really. And in hindsight, I should have just spit this.
Yeah.
But I know the whole room would have been looking at me like I was crazy, so that's why I didn't do it.
But with the words at the bottom, you know what I'm saying? If an editor can kind of like color code and show the links, show the links. Like, you know, I would consider, because it's a viral moment. Not that we're out here trying to go viral, but
I remember when I was probably 21 or 22, and I went to a birthday party out on Long Island. It was actually a block party, but it was a birthday party for Chuck D. I didn't know him personally, but I was just a fan, and I heard about the party, and I was semi kind of in the industry already. So we went out there, and he was turning 33, and I remember saying, "Damn, 33! He's mad old."
Yeah,
33 was, in my mind, that was mad old.
Ancient.
Yeah, that was, listen. That was,
I remember his 29th birthday was in Word Up magazine. He had a 29th birthday party, and I felt the same way.
See,
I was like, damn,
this is crazy.
I was looking at Chuck D like it's over.
At 29.
How old were you when you did the Symphony?
21.
Jeez. 20
or 21. I was fresh out of college, so it was 88 when we recorded it. So, yeah, no, it was 88, so I was 22 or 21. I was 21 because I hadn't turned 22 yet. I was turning 22 that December. Yeah.
Wow. So you had no idea what was happening. You just rapping.
Right, you just rapping.
I was just helping Marley by getting the booth warmed up for these guys. He didn't. There was no plan to keep me on that song.
Up?
Yeah, because nobody wanted to go. Nobody wanted to rap. Nobody wanted to rap first. Let me say that. Everybody had their verse, but they were all jockeying for position. They wanted to hear, I want to hear what he said first. In case I got to change some lines, I want to hear what he said first. So he's like, "Yo, Ace, you got something for this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll stay with a clip." He's like, "Yo, go on the booth and spit something." And I think the plan was just to get them loosened up.
Yeah.
And then I guess there was a sidebar. A lot of this stuff I found out years later. Like I found out like 5 years ago that there was a whole sidebar with G-Rap and Kane was like, "Yo, he putting a new guy on the song. Who this guy?" Like they was calling me Glasses and all that. And
Glasses, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so he's like, "He putting Glasses on the song. Yo, let's be out. Let's say we're going to Pizza Shop and we're gonna just leave and don't come back." And that was the plan. And then they heard my first take, I guess, before they left. Then they sidebar, "Yo, Glasses kind of nice. Yo, Glasses all right." And by virtue of them hearing the verse, they stayed, obviously. And then I guess Marley told them like, "Nah, don't worry, I'm not keeping him on." And I think they were like, "Nah, keep him on the joint. He's dope. Keep it on there. Keep it on there." And that's how I got on the song.
And Craig was there too?
Craig was there. Yep. Craig went right after he went in there right after me. And yeah. Rest is history.
Rest is history, basically.
Damn, that's crazy, man. I'm like,
and listen, to go from the OGs acting like they didn't want you on the song, but to have your opening lines be "Listen closely, so your attention's undivided."
Well, you got to remember, they weren't OG. They weren't OG. Neither of them were.
Well,
OG
not at that time, right?
Yeah.
You're right. Not at that time.
Kane album hadn't even dropped yet. His first album hadn't even dropped.
True.
So, he had Get Into It.
Yeah, that was before Kane's first album.
Just Rhyming with Biz, and what was the other joint? What the other joint he had? He had 3 joints though. That were all of them. 3 joints was fire. Maybe Raw might have just came out.
Yeah, I think Raw was out.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think Raw was out.
So, yeah, he wasn't. He was definitely that next guy. Everybody knew it.
Yeah.
G-Rap had It's a Demo. He had I'm Fly and Rikers Island. He had those records out. Yeah. I might be leaving out one or 2 other joints, but like neither one of them had albums out yet. So they weren't. They were known on the street, but they weren't like big commercial artists yet.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I was still newer than them.
Right.
Speaking of Biz, I watched the documentary. I did not know that he didn't clear me in the Biz.
Well, when you say clear, what you mean?
I mean, he didn't know you were doing it, basically.
Oh. Yeah, well, he heard the song with me imitating him because
Imitating, right?
that's how I gave him the demo so that
Yeah,
he could memorize his parts and then say the
right.
rhyme.
But he know what's coming out.
He didn't know, right? He didn't know that we took that version and made it a song. And I never had a conversation with him, and I should have. And it was one of those things where it was just a tricky. I was caught in the middle of a feud between him and Marley that I didn't want to be in the middle of, and me just not really maybe understanding the politics of it. I just kind of stayed quiet. I kind of let those guys. I'll let them figure out all of this. I'm just happy to have an album coming out. That's pretty much the route that I went. And in hindsight, if that's something somebody had done that to me, I would have been tight.
Man, going from Take a Look Around, which I loved, right, to the evolution of Slaughtahouse. I'm watching you, and I kind of went through something similar where it seemed like I was trying to find a lane marketing wise, right? What made you remain yourself, but still Slaughterhouse was harder, right? But it had an edge, but it was still you. Like,
Yeah.
what was your thought process in between that time?
My thought process when we were making Slaughterhouse was to do the grimiest, most grungiest sounding record that I could do. I wanted to get as far away from Me and the Biz, that song, as I possibly could, because
Got you.
it was a novelty record that Warner Brothers, in their infinite wisdom, said that needed to be the single, which I was completely and totally against that being the single, because the whole album was me really just speaking to my people. Like it was a serious album. That was the only song that was kind of lighthearted.
Right.
And leave it to the major to say, "Oh no, this the single." Like I'm like, I don't want this to be the single. But Benny Medina basically said, if this ain't the single, don't expect another single after this.
Damn.
And so they basically put my head in the vice and turned it a couple of times. And me as a brand new artist, just happy to just have an album out. I followed the major and I went that route. But after that, when it didn't have the success that they assumed it was gonna have because Biz's name was on it, I said from this point forward, I'm doing what I want to do. I'm not listening to these labels no more. I'm doing exactly what I want to do. So I went to the studio and I wanted to make a dark record, and I probably overdid it with the dark, but it wound up being like a cult classic for a lot of people that was in high school around that time.
That was a dope time, man. G-Bash, Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Real dope time, man.
Sitting on Chrome, man.
Yeah, sitting on Chrome was
Chrome, man. Please,
different. Now, I was around when the G-Bash remix, took off in Cali, and I feel like, is that what inspired Sitting on Chrome? Like, we're gonna go get that West Coast.
It was more of an agreement that I had with Delicious Vinyl, the label, because Born to Roll had blown up to such a degree that they sat me down in the meeting and they were like, "Look, you're onto something with this car culture thing. Like people are really loving you in that marketplace. We need a car culture album.
Yeah,
deliver us a car culture album, and we can take it from there." And I'm like, okay. So I went in and like I made 2 deliberate records, IC Ride and Sitting on Chrome. Like those were like deliberate records that I made because that's what they asked for. But now I perform those records happily, and those records are loved on the West Coast. Those are like classics out there.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
But there's still a part of me that feels a way about those songs because creatively those songs would have never been made if not for the label asking me to do something.
Yeah.
So once again, following the label.
Yeah.
Into they lead you down these dark hallways, and you think you know, it's gonna be some light at the end of the hallway, and you get to the end of the hallway, and it's a baseball bat. You know what I mean?
I've been there.
So after those two experiences, that's when I became independent, and I'm like, from this day forward, that was 2001. From this day forward, every record I do, every song I do is gonna be exactly what I want to do. My partners that I was working with at the time, like I was working on Disposable Arts. That was my big kind of reintroduction into the marketplace. You know, almost as a brand new artist for a lot of fans.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that was like my reset. And my partner Rich, while I was working on the album, you know, he would say, I remember him saying, "Yo, man, everything's kind of slow on this album." I'm like, "You're Rich. Nothing. I don't want to hear nothing.
Right.
Nothing. I don't care. Just let the album get done." And he from that point, he didn't say anything more. And then he got this, when he finally heard the final product, he's like, "Holy shit, like this is going to be something." And it was. That album single-handedly reset my career and extended my career for 23 years now.
Wow.
Because of that one album. If I don't do that album, none of this other stuff happens.
We can run through this second verse, man. These dudes all over the place. How bats fly as a bird is so absurd, and that's why I walk with my head up. Town, baby.
Listen, it's all about the pause. It's all about the pregnant pause with the "that's why I walk with my head up." I'm like, man, if you don't know where that's from, you don't know you had to be there. So yeah.
Shout to
I
KRS.
walk with my head up, town baby for the crown. You can get set up in a way like the fifth dimension. Listen, but the dimension, break it up, mention me. What are we doing here, man?
The best.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, it sounds like you have more. Like it just sounds like
a lot more.
Yeah, I get some attention, bands. How my mind stretches and expands.
But can't understand, land on beds to get tan, Zania, melanated like African blood. Listen, blood all over the concrete. So you got blood all over the concrete. Listen,
usually,
but listen, this one though. Usually after the club, hold the bacon. Now people will feel like, okay, that wasn't a connection,
right?
But you know, anything that's a club sandwich, club salad, all that, it has bacon in it.
Has bacon in it.
So they say outside, you know, usually after the club, but hold the bacon. People are probably like, I don't see the connection in
that. And I gotta shout Ace, because Ace shut down pork mad long ago. Before
mad long
ago, back in the early 90s when I was eating bacon like it was a pastime. Like he shut it down early. I was like, he's crazy. But then, you know, I joined the fray.
Listen,
some of them are pork eaters
somehow.
Yeah. Some of them are pork eaters. Don't be mistaken. Watch out for the false leaders of the new school.
Buster Dinko and Charlie. But the Charlie Brown Wallabies up in the Lincoln with Marley. Listen.
Lee Harvey
Oswald. But listen, not just the reference, but don't meet a similar fate.
Don't meet a similar fate. And where's fate?
Yeah.
In God's
hands. Listen, I'm gonna keep giving him grief. So yeah, I guess listen, the Lee Harvey Oswald, that was where he felt like he had to end. He's like, I gotta end it somewhere.
Yeah.
So just don't meet a similar fate to Lee Harvey Oswald. I'll just say I'll leave it at that.
To hear you guys, you know, break down something like this, you know, the way you are, there's a real sense of appreciation, and I appreciate somebody, because a lot of times as artists, as writers, we do these things that we think are really cool, that we think should catch people's attention or catch people's eyes, but you never really get it back. You never really find out what people think about it. Maybe the random fan comes over to you and he mentions a song, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. Somebody actually caught that. But, you know, to hear you guys like talking about it, and you guys are MCs too. It's not like y'all just fans. Y'all MCs, y'all rhyme. Y'all know what it is. So it's a lot of appreciation on my part. Trust me. Just to hear you talking about it, I'm just sitting here like, wow, like it's great to know that somebody got it, saw what I did, didn't miss a line, caught it all. That's great. It makes me feel good. Thank you.
Hey,
listen, look at this guy. Just living the dream here, man. Living the dream,
man. Just living the dream. Nah, this is full circle. Ace is mad reserved, man. He not really capturing this moment right now and understanding that I was a child on Hell Up in Harlem.
14.
This guy had to, he had me doing ad-libs for a song. This is my first time in the booth ever. And he notices I'm nervous. He gets in the booth with me to like give me that encouragement. And this is why he's apologizing, because he put the bug, right? I was 12 at the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm at Libra Digital Studio. I'm at all these studios. Like, I mean, man, listen. This is full circle. This is a blessing. I know you want to apologize for bringing me in this game, but it is what it is, man.
Without that part of the journey, we're not here right now.
Nah, we're not here. I don't have that knowledge at school, you know what I'm saying, to share with others, and a little bit of industry, access I had, and being on video shoots and being in the studio and meeting Biggie, like it was a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying, and I shouted out my brother, even though he ain't speaking to me right now. I don't know why, but and I'll be honest, I don't know where y'all stand, you know what I'm saying? So
we don't stand.
Yeah, I mean, but I haven't spoken to him to be like, yo, I'm about to interview Ace. How you feel? Like, I don't, it's and I know for a time, like you and I spoke at an A3C festival.
Yeah.
I don't know how many years ago that was. We talked for like an hour and a half,
I remember that.
A lot of things that you didn't know over the years. And I didn't know how you felt. Right. We sitting judging 106 in Park, MC battle together, and you probably didn't know what side of the fence I stood on for many years. You know what I'm saying? So we got to kind of clear that up. But I've always had love for you. I never had any animosity, and we all about love. So I might get flack for even bringing this up and having this conversation, but it is what it is, man. I want to spread love.
Flack from who?
I'm all about positivity, bro. I just wanted to let you know.
People have had decades to do their own thing.
Yeah.
And I leave it at that. Listen, as much as people talk about like the Slaughtahouse album, the Sitting on Chrome album, that time period in my career, when you really look at it over the course of the entire career, that was really like maybe like a 4 or 5 year window in a 30-year career. So it's really a blip.
Yeah.
For me, it's very rare that I do anything off the first 3 albums. I mean, the most I do Born to Roll. Because that was a big record. And I will do Iron C Rod or Sitting on Chrome if it's requested, because I have a part of my show at the end, like after the first hour or so, where we just go around and we like, yell out some songs. And if people yell some of those records out, I'll do
them. And what year did Take a Look Around come out?
90.
Yo, take a bow, my friend.
Listen, take a bow, take a victory lap, take these flowers, this is
for you.
Yeah, this is an amazing.
A while ago.
And now I have, like, after every show, we go to the merch table and we meet and greet. People come up, they want to take pictures, they want to get something signed, whatever. I go to the merch table after every single show. Plus, that's a way to really get more merch moving, because people see you over there, they want to buy something, they want you to sign it. So that's we've been doing that for 20 years. But now at shows, I'm getting 17, 18-year-old kids coming up to me. Like, can you sign this? I'm like, how do you know me?
Right.
How, like,
wow.
And they're like, oh, my dad told me about you.
Yeah, I was about to say they got good parents.
Yeah, and some of them it's like, yo, this is my very first concert. I finally just turned 18. I can go to concerts now, and it's amazing to know that I have 16, 17, 18-year-old fans in Europe that are following me, going to shows, buying the records, buying the music. Now those kids are gonna grow up as the next generation of fans. There's not, that's not easy to get. Being this long in the game and to have fans that age. That's not a normal thing.
Eminem credits you for being an influence in his career. So many MCs look up to you. And I mentioned this before, but I just want to say again that the tree that I come from starts with you. And a lot of my peers, we were in the same boat of authenticity. I've had this conversation with J. Cole, and he watched my career, and we've had conversations about being ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like for you? We talk about the labels. I know you mentioned Disposable Arts being your moment of freedom and being you. But what was it like when you got all the whispers, maybe before Slaughtahouse, where you saw the game kind of changing and things, you poked fun at what was becoming, funny, just the hardcore, whether it was, I remember my brother was telling me he was about to do a radio, I was going to do radio with Onyx, and I was nervous. So I was like, yo, they might be coming at you, and Redman might come at you for the pistol pack and whack MCs. It was so much, that you had to remain true to yourself.
Yeah.
What conversations did you have with yourself? Like, yo, I'm just gonna be me. I'm not gonna sway. I'm not gonna waver.
I think that's inherently the way I was raised. My mom, my grandmother. I was never been a poser. I've never tried to be more gangster than I was or more tough than I was. I was a tough kid. I played football in the neighborhood and all of that. I had mad fights and all that, but I didn't walk around trying to be a bully or trying to mess with nobody. I kept to myself. I was the only child, so automatically that was going to make me a little bit more reserved and cautious about the people that were around me. I was more of a quiet observer of everyone around me. I watched the people in the room, kind of see, where the threats were, or who was cool, who wasn't cool, who was faking it, who was full of shit. Like, I'm just listening and watching people. That's just always how I've been. And from watching the people that behaved in certain ways that I didn't approve of, that indicated to me you don't want to be like that guy or that guy, how he's acting right now. And I really can only attribute it to the way my mother and grandmother raised me. That's all I can really attribute it to.
Yeah. Yo, thank you, man, for taking some time out, speaking with us. Like I said, this is,
thank you for that. Thank you for that breakdown, man, of connections. That was cool.
Yeah.
When this comes out, I definitely want to share it because I want people to start talking about it. Hearing it, talking about it, and then we're gonna try to get that TikTok challenge going. We shot a video for it, so.
Oh, okay.
Me and Marco are both sitting down holding these cards.
Gotcha.
And so everything that I'm saying in the rhyme is happening on one card or the other.
Oh,
so
that's dope.
You see the transition from this line to that line, back to the next line.
Great.
So everything, and we're literally just holding the cards.
That's crazy.
Yeah, salute. We appreciate you for taking the time out, man. We appreciate you for crafting this masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
Salute. We want to give you your flowers for contributing so much to the culture.
Thank you, man. The new album is called Richmond Hill, Masta Ace Marco Polo. It's available on all streaming providers. It's also physical. You can get vinyl, you can get CDs, cassettes will be coming soon. So fatbeats.com for the physical.
Nice. Fat Beats.
All right, man.
All right, guys.
You, bro. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely.
All right,
yes, sir.
Real spitters take no bars off. Huh. Yeah. MCs take no bars off.